Hello my fellow book readers, welcome to Ren Reads. It is another month, so I will be doing another TBR video. Today I will be picking 3 to 4 books out of my TBR jar, and that's what I'll be reading in the month of March. If you see this little bandage, I did cut myself really bad previously in this week, and I had to get stitches and everything, so don't mind this. I will be posting that video on my main channel on Thursday, so go check that out and go subscribe to my main channel. And without further ado, let's go ahead and grab my jar. Okay, so here's my little TBR jar. And I kind of wish that instead of doing numbers, I did the book titles in here, because I came to find out that in my last video with taking books out, it like skips numbers for this time. So I don't know if that makes sense, but I had to reinsert the numbers that I picked last time in here. So I have 27 books in total. The first one being all the way at the top shelf being The Giver, and the last one being book 5 of Harry Potter down here. So let's go ahead and pick our first number. Alright, the first number is 11, as y'all can see right there. Now let's just go up to the top and see which one it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Alright, this is a good chunky one right here. Alright, so the book I chose was The Land of Stories Beyond the Kingdoms. I've actually been really wanting to read this book because I love the cover of it. It is beautiful, and I know this is like actually a series of books. I don't know, I'll go more in depth with these books at the end of the video. Okay, the second book is $23. All right, let's bring you guys back up. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Alright, another John Green book. Okay, so I picked another John Green book. In my last TBR video, I picked up Looking for Alaska. And I really hope this one's a lot better than that one, because I think I rated that one like 1 or 2 stars. I don't know. But I know there's a movie based off of this one, and I really don't know what it's about, but once again, I'll go in depth at the end of the video. My last book is going to be, or depending if it's like small or not, it will be my last. Okay, so number 3. Alright, let's bring you guys back up. Dang it, I really wish it was number 4, because I knew that was going to be Uzumaki. So 1, 2, 3, which is The Program. Alright, so the third and final book I chose was The Program. I started reading this back in fall of 2019, I think, or spring 2020. I think it was spring 2020 actually. I started reading this and I never finished it, and I forgot what it's about, but yeah. I got some 3 chunky books for this March TBR. Now let's just go ahead and go into the depth of these. Okay, so my camera died on me, so I had to wait for that to charge a little bit, and I'm back. So we were left off with the first pick. My first pick was The Land of Stories Beyond the Kingdoms by Chris Colfer. And let me just tell y'all, or let me just read the synopsis to you, I guess.
It says fairy tales are just the beginning. The masked man is on the loose in the land of stories, and it's up to Alex and Connor Bailey to stop him, except Alex has been thrown off the fairy council and no one will believe they're in danger. With only the hope of the ragtag group of Goldilocks, Jack, Red Riding Hood, and Mother Goose and her gander, Lester, the Bailey twins discover the masked man's secret scheme. He possesses a powerful magical potion that turns every book it touches into a portal, and he is recruiting an army of literature's greatest villains. So begins a race through the magical land of Oz, a fantastical world of the the fantastical world of Neverland, the madness of Wonderland, and beyond. Can Alex and Connor catch up to the masked man, or will he be one step behind until it's too late? Fairy tales and classic stories collide in the fourth adventure in the best-selling Land of Stories series as the twins travel beyond the kingdoms.
So I guess this is the fourth classic stories book in this collection, and this is just about capturing this guy, this bad guy, and all of the fantastical creatures teaming up together to do so. So that sounds pretty cool and interesting. Once again, I really just want to read it because of the cover. It's beautiful, and if I enjoy this, then I'll probably pick up the other ones in the collection. Hopefully you don't have to read the first three in order to read this one, but I doubt it, so yeah. Alright, the second book I picked was Paper Towns by John Green. Like I said, I read Looking for Alaska last month, but I think this one's gonna be better because when I saw the previews for the movie, it kind of looked intriguing. And on the back it says, Who
is the real Margot? Quentin Jacobson has spent a lifetime loving the magnificently adventurous Margot Roth Spiegelman from afar, so when she cracks open a window and climbs into his life, dressed like a ninja and summoning him from an ingenious campaign of revenge, he follows. After their all-nighter ends and a new day breaks, Q arrives at school to discover that Margot, always an enigma, has now become a mystery, but Q soon learns that there are clues and they're for him. Urged down a disconnected path, the closer he gets, the less Q sees the girl he thought he knew.
So basically this book is about a guy and a girl who hang out one night, and the next morning the girl disappears and she leaves clues for him. So it sounds pretty good and it looks like a very easy read, so I'm glad to have picked this up. And the last book I grabbed was The Program by Susan Young. And this is the first book in a series. I think there's like 4 books in these series. That's what they are in the back.
Sloan knows better than to cry in front of anyone. With suicide now an international epidemic, one outburst could land her in the program. The only proven course of treatment, Sloan's parents have already lost one child. Sloan knows they'll do anything to keep her alive. She also knows that everyone who's been through the program returns as a blank state because their depression is gone, but so are their memories.
I don't want to read the rest because I want to like go into this book not knowing too much. All I know is about a program that kids go to if they have depression, anxiety, all that stuff. And when you come out, you basically don't know anything. So that's very interesting. I'm sure there's more to it in the second paragraph on the back, but like I said, I want to go in not knowing much at all. But yeah, these are the 3 books I will be reading the month of March. I'm actually really excited. I'm really excited to read this one. This is the one I'm most excited for. But I feel like this was a good mix of books to read. I have one fantasy. Oh, it's not. It's like one middle grade fantasy, one adventure, and then one. I don't know how to describe this one, but they're all different. So yeah, that concludes this video. I'm really excited to be picking up those 3 books in the month of March. If you enjoyed, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Click that red button down below to subscribe, become part of my reading family. Also comment down below on what's on your March TBR because I feel like that would be interesting to see what y'all are reading. And I will be making reading vlogs about these books throughout the month of March, so expect those. And I guess I'll see you on the next video. Bye.